Hey guys, it's Bishop Ozzy here, and welcome to episode 42 of the Berlin Dynamo series. We're back with season 8, and we're still into Bundesliga, unfortunately. Missed out on the promotion playoff spot by 2 points in our first season back into Bundesliga. 2 points is all it took, and unfortunately, Regensburg lost the promotion playoff spot. They lost to Hanover over the two legs. They actually didn't score a goal and lost both games. So disappointing for them. We're actually taking them on here in the first game. So a good opportunity for us to get a bit of revenge. Because if we beat them in that the first game of last episode, we essentially would have taken their spot. So frustrating as it is. Actually, I think we might have even... I think we were 3 points behind in the end. So I don't think the extra 2 would have helped us, but yeah, it was very close. And at one stage, it looked like we might have actually been promoted. Albeit last season was a weird season because all I wanted to do was avoid relegation. Anyway, we got a decent transfer budget for the start of this season. It says it was only 300k. It was actually about 1.6 mil, but obviously I've spent a lot of money of it. Then I've also put a lot of it into the wages as well. We've still got about 5 million in the bank. We've obviously lost a lot of money this season already. But one thing I do want to show you as well is if we go to facilities, I have attempted to upgrade the training facilities. So they're currently, where are we? Oh, it's actually complete already. Okay. So yeah, us aboard, they decided to update the transfer facilities. They're also, well, it's in progress at the moment, so it's going to be completed in 5 months, but that's already been approved. And then obviously next season we actually get our new stadium, which is going to be very... I say it's going to be very cool, but I don't know if it is. It's only 15,000 capacity. I think if we go to... Where are we? Go to club info, history, and then records. Our average attendance for last season was pretty high. It was 9,648 throughout the course of the season. I know we have, some relatively big games. As you can see, 28,500 sellout against Magdeburg when we were the home team. So, that makes sense. They're one of our geographical rivals as well as a historical rival. But I mean, we had that the season previous as well when we moved into their stadium originally. Very cool though. Cool to see that we're able to at least sell out some games. I would assume that the Dynamo Dresden game will sell out as well. Anyway, you're here for transfers, as you can tell by the title. Like I said, we've spent some money. I'm trying to get a couple of players out at the moment. We haven't really recouped any money, which is frustrating. Vestergaard is a player that was brought in. I'll go into him. Well, I don't really need to go into him. He was sort of a youth player that I saw that was 18, available on a free transfer with 6 months left of his contract. I just picked him up. I thought he might be okay. We've got way better options at the club now, so I pretty much just loaned him straight out to Ebsberg over in Denmark. I think they're in the second tier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the second tier, so yeah, it's not terrible. I then loaned out Leonardo, the Brazilian centre-back, who's been complaining a lot about game time. He was loaned out to Duisburg in 3 Liga. Hopefully get a little bit of game time for him. A little bit of wages paid, which is good. Ben Blankenberg, another sort of 3 Liga signing from a while back, who I gave a pretty long contract to. He went out on loan to TB Berlin. And again, a little bit of wages paid for him as well. And then finally, we sold Leonardo dos Santos. He didn't really play much last season. Got an assist, but didn't score a goal. All of his appearances in the league were sub appearances as well. So I probably should have given him more of an opportunity, but I just didn't. I didn't. And we sold him on to Rio Ave in Portugal for 53,000. It's good just to get him off the wages. I think he was on about 3.7k. So pretty expensive. But let's go into the ins. So already talked about Vestergaard. We then signed Tobias Schreiber. Basically just a youth player that was being released from Leverkusen. Just decided to pick him up. Nothing too special. Thought he had a bit more potential than he actually does, which is frustrating. Don't expect to see him much. And then we actually started spending money. So Jong Dae-yong, a 20-year-old South Korean striker. Very, very good player. And obviously we needed to replace Rosema going into this season. We could have actually brought him back on loan, which I thought was very strange, because usually what happens is they spend a season on loan at your club, and then you try to renegotiate before the loan runs out to extend it. But they say they want to test him in a different environment. Rosema, was the first player that's ever not come up so far in the series. So I think Inter saw how well he did last season and almost wanted him to continue his progression and form, I guess, as well. But Dae-yong, probably going to be the fourth choice striker at the moment. He's very good, but still lacking a little bit maybe in his mentals. He's got good pace, which I do like. Definitely more of an advanced forward, good finishing, good dribbling. He's got a little bit of heading about him. He's 195 centimeters as well, which is kind of strange for a South Korean. You sort of expect them to be maybe of a smaller stature. Just generally, the Asian players from that type of, or that part of the world, they do seem to be a little bit shorter than your more Nordic players. But yeah, I really like the look of him. He's an absolute quality striker, 110,000 paid. And yeah, just happy to have him at the club. And he's really, really good backup. The next player we signed on a free transfer was Gabriel Simez. Again, another 18-year-old German. He had a bit of potential, and he actually still does have a bit of potential. So I like the look of him. I'm currently trying to train him as a right wing back. He'll stay in the under-19s for this season, and hopefully some of his stats will improve. I'll go into coaching as well, because we actually signed some new coaches along with the training facility upgrade that I wanted. Trying to get the ball moving for when we do eventually get promoted to the Bundesliga. And of course, we have a little bit of money now. And as long as we remain into Bundesliga, the money's going to be there. Anyway, next player. I showed you guys this guy's profile. I think it was last season, and that is Mehdi Jabali. Absolutely beautiful striker. 20-year-old Tunisian striker. Advanced forward perfection in my eyes for this level. 17 composure, 15 finishing, 15 first touch. Really good pace on him as well. He's decent off the ball. Again, more of an advanced forward than a deep line forward, but he's good. He's so good. He was the one that I really wanted to get. We signed him on a free transfer from this Tunisian club, where he was on a non-contract, essentially an amateur contract. And I'm expecting big things from him. Believe it or not, he's actually not the starting striker at the moment. So he's sort of third choice. But if someone's not firing, he'll be brought straight in. So we've got a lot of good options. We've actually got another striker here that this one was a bit of a mistake. I actually set this one up prior to Dae-yong and prior to Jabali as well. So we got Pijnenberg, 22-year-old Dutch striker. I saw him. He's very similar to Jabali. Very similar. He's got a little bit of potential left on him as well. Maybe slightly more favoured to the deep lying forward role. He's got a bit better passing, a bit better strength there as well. But he looked really good, and I saw he was available. 175,000 we paid for him, so still very cheap in the grand scheme of things. But that's probably just over maybe like 15% of our budget that we had. And then I got those other strikers for not only cheaper in Jae-yong's case, but free for Jabali. And I was like, I probably shouldn't have signed this guy as well. I'm going to try and loan him out because I don't think he's really going to get all that much game time. He's also 2 years older than Jabali. He's got really good composure. Again, good pace on him. He's got a little bit better strength. 13 heading, a little bit lower finishing, dribbling, and first touch. So that's a bit of a takeaway. But he does have potential. He's got a star left. He's got 4-star potential ability. So, and again, his value's gone up. So hopefully we might be able to flick him on for a profit. But 175k was a pretty steep fee to pay. Okay, next player we had to get. That is Lautaro Cano. Now, Cano is a left wing back, 27-year-old Argentinian in his prime. Good pace on him, good defensively, which is important. He's got good concentration, which is something that I feel like Preval does not have. He's also got really good decision making. So he's gonna know when to go and when not to go. Probably not as good attacking wise as Preval, but still 10 crossing, 10 dribbling. It's okay for this level. I do like the look of him. So brought him in, more senior player to Preval, and he's going to probably, he will be starting ahead of him. But I did give Preval a new contract, so he will be sticking at the club. The next player we brought in, this is a guy I was talking about from St. Pauli, Juan Perea, 195,000 this bloke cost me. But I think it's going to be worth it. So he's going to start as our starting striker. He's got very good pace on him, very good. Not as composed, but slightly better off the ball, and he's got better work rate than pretty much all of our other strikers that we have. So I feel like getting him in, he's going to break the line. He's got good enough finishing and dribbling to get into those good positions where he will get a shot off and hopefully finish pretty well. But he's also a perfectionist, which I really like. And he shoots with power. So hopefully for the 2 seasons that he's here, we can sort of develop Jabali, develop our strikers, hopefully keep Gel as well, who's had some offers in for him recently. I'm a little bit scared about that. But the 30-year-old Colombian, at least for this season, I'm going to assume that he'll keep his pace. Maybe next season will start to decrease. But I'm just looking for a big season from him. If we show you his history, he was at St. Pauli, barely played pretty terribly into Bundesliga there. But started the game off at Stuttgart. Didn't really play too well in the Bundesliga. So, he's got a lot to do in regards to, stamping his name for the rest of his football career. And he is 30 years old. So theoretically, you would hope that he would have a big season or two with us and sort of, finish his career perhaps. Anyway, the next player we brought in was Namandi Collins. Was it 44,000? Yeah, 44,000. And he was brought in from Eintracht Frankfurt. Just got out of his profile there. We needed another centre-back to obviously replace Matus from last season. So I looked for a ball-playing centre-back. Collins was probably I would say the best option I could find. I was going for another bloke, but he pretty much got snapped up and we just couldn't really go in for him. The only downside to Collins is obviously composure's 10, decision-making's 10 as well. But he's got really good pace, really good strength as well. 12 passing, decent first touch and technique. I don't know if he's going to be good enough. It's a weird one. I don't know if he's going to be good enough to get us promoted, if that makes sense. He's a big boy as well, 192 centimeters. So, he's a big, tall centre-back with a lot of strength and a lot of pace. I like it, but we'll just have to wait and see. 44,000 outlay for him. The next player we brought in was Abu Aziz Barry from AS Bikine, 70,000. And we've got an 18-year-old Senegalese left winger who is pacey as all hell. He's got 17 acceleration, 16 agility, and 16 pace. And he's just a very nice winger. He popped up in my scouting, and I pretty much looked at him and said, I have to sign him. It's 70k, 2.4k per week on wages for him, and just a really sort of deadly option to have on that left-hand side that might come in pretty handy scoring some goals. And Pavicic was injured during preseason, so there's potential for him to come in and actually play if Pavicic does, get some injuries throughout the course of the season. And the final player brought in was Ignacio Formosa. Had this bloke on the shortlist for quite some time. He's got a little bit of potential about him. He's still, rated as a possible 4.5-star player. Again, just a good pacey winger. This time on the right-hand side. He's 21 years old, Argentinian. And as you can see, he was signed on a free transfer. I've been looking at him for a while. He's played pretty well with his Argentinian club before making the move here to Germany. And there are transfers. So a lot of transfers in. We're sort of doing this every season now, where we're trying to find better players, even some better younger sort of players that, in a season or two might develop and make us good enough to get promoted. That's my game plan. So this season, I want to get at least top half, 9th and above. Is sort of 9th would be my minimum. I think anything below 9th would probably be, I would say, a bit of a failure. Obviously, the main goal is to avoid relegation anyway. That goes without being said. But my personal goal is 9th. 9th and above, and I'm happy. And the board will be happy as well. So, yeah. Anything else is a bonus. We get promoted, it's a bonus. We'll push for promotion as we did last season. But like I said, I want to sort of solidify ourselves. And then I think next season is the season that we'll really push for it. Hopefully we'll have more money in the bank and have a better budget, as well as the stadium finally being here as well. So yeah. Anyway, let's go team selection. I'll show you preseason real quick. It wasn't anything too special. We actually lost quite a few games there. Some tough fixtures, albeit, Rapid Vienna, Austria Vienna. We actually drew 1-1 with them. Got absolutely obliterated by Dortmund's first team there, 5-1. Almost beat Schalke. They beat us 3-2. And then Dresdner, we beat them 9-0. So yeah, got to have that cheeky friendly against a lower down opposition to boost your scoreline and your player ratings back up and get their morale where it needs to be. Other thing to mention, goalkeeper. Newlands did have an 875,000 release clause, which was half of our budget. It was more than half, actually. And I just decided that it wasn't worth it when I can get better players for other positions. Nikolic, of course, came back from injury at the end of last season. He's still only 21. He's on a long contract. We've got him for another 4 seasons. And he does still have potential there. He's at 2.5-star now, possibly a 4.5-star player. I feel like he should be doing better than he is. He should be. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me have a look at his scout report. So, obviously, potential to be a 2 Bundesliga goalkeeper. He's essentially a 3-Liga goalkeeper in quality. Aguilar's actually got a higher rating than him at the moment. Even he's not technically a 2 Bundesliga goalkeeper, although he does have the potential to be a Bundesliga goalkeeper in the future. Interesting. He's actually got better potential ability than Nikolic. He's finding it hard to adapt into the core group of the squad, which is not great. And he has a competitive streak, which is perfectly fine. And he has obviously good reflexes. Maybe we play Aguilar. I don't know. That's a weird one. Haven't really played Aguilar in preseason at all either, because I really thought Nikolic was going to be the one. I might start with Nikolic for this first game, and then we'll see how that goes. We do still have Krolo in the team. I'm just going to keep him around because at one stage last season, we had 3 goalkeeper injuries, and Krolo had to play a game. So I definitely want to have 3 goalkeepers in my squad. They're definitely getting injured more often than previous. I did try and sell Obafemi. Really never should have brought him in. It was a bit of a big mistake, and we're losing 5k per week in wages. So I'll take that one. That one's a bad one. Heinsohn was good when we needed him last season. He played quite a few games, 6 starts, 6 subs. But I think with the arrival of Barry, Kleinson sort of drops out of any real sort of backup position. One other thing to mention, Senhaji came back. So I'll get him training as our deep line. He actually performed really well out on loan at Laval in France. He didn't perform very well, but he developed very well. As you can see, he's looking pretty good. He actually kind of almost looks like a better box-to-box midfielder. Obviously, the offensive stats aren't perfect, but, he's good, obviously technique-wise, tackling-wise, passing-wise, and he's got a good first touch. So at the moment, I think we're going to go with Chimera. I'll give him a bit of game time, but Senhaji, obviously the backup to Dantas, might even come in as the box-to-box. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, today's lineup, also worth mentioning Romero, back from his loan last season in 3-leaguer. Played okay. Didn't sign a right back. So, yeah. And I'm also in the current process of selling Augustin to Paderborn. So I need to actually fix that up because I had him out on loan. So we'll cancel that. Also worth mentioning, we've got two players. I believe they're both from Colombia. An 18, or they're both 19-year-old. I think he was 18 when I signed him, just a few months, or last month at the start of this month, potentially. Anyway, I'm rambling on now, but yeah, two 19-year-old Colombians, both very, very good players, are going to be coming in January. I'm very happy with that. As you can see, Augustin's, his stats are decreasing. He played pretty good on loan at Munster last season in 3-leaguer. But yeah, anyway. The lineup today, Nikolic in goals. Romero's going to start at right back. Bit of a risk. I'm going to go with Collins to debut as well, alongside Naranjo. Cano's going to also debut on the left-hand side of our back line. Going to go with Hendricks today, of course. Pavicic, just coming back from injury there. Not going to risk him for this first game. But we'll probably start him depending on how Hendricks plays. Like I said, Chimera is going to be in the box-to-box midfielder role today. Dantas alongside... given Dantas Jublovic's old number, Jublovic was released. Mbala's going to start on the right-hand side. Hopefully we can get a few more goals from Mbala this season. And then we've got Gel and the debuting Perea, 30-year-old. Is he Colombian? Yeah, 30-year-old Colombian striker up top. We've got Mputhi on the bench. We've got Senhaji on the bench. We've got Jabali on the bench as well. Preval, and De Jong as well. Let's go. Let's see what we can do. I'd love to beat Regensburg to kick our season off. Then again, we've got a lot of new signings. And I feel like our start of season form is always a little bit rocky. It's always, I think the start of season 7, which was last season, we lost both games kicking off the season as well, which obviously probably led to us not getting that promotion playoff spot. Hopefully we can actually go out there and do something today, though. I think our last game was 2-2 against Regensburg in last episode. Still, the right back position is still a bit of an issue for us. We still do have Bargeland. He might even get to play a little bit at centre back this season. I feel like we're slightly short. And I'm a little bit nervous about the goalkeeper situation as well. And Dantas has picked up an injury there. That is terrible. That's a terrible start for us. Arguably our best player. I would say Gel's probably our best player now. All right, Chimera to Perea, inside to Gel to Mbala. Good partnership between those guys last season. And Haji. Hendricks. Oh, he's hit the post. It's gone in the back of the net, though. Own goal. Hendricks hit the post, and then their centre-back puts it in the back of his own net. And we're 1-0 up in the 30th minute. We'll take that. Good start. Albeit bad injury to Dantas. I mean, they're playing a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. I think it's more of a 4-3-3, but ooh, they hit the post as well, off of a corner. I did sign, I didn't show you guys, but I did sign a few coaches. I believe we've got 3-star coaches now for every sort of technical coaching role, which is good. I think our goalkeeping coach is still 1-star potentially. And we have 2.5 star for both of our fitness coaching as well, which is okay. I did get a new assistant manager as well, who I put on set piece coaching. And we still have Ian Robin as well as our second assistant. I just took him off set pieces because we didn't really do too much with the set pieces last season. And unfortunately, we lost a ball just there. And Regensburg are in behind. And they've got the equaliser. Yeah, Nikolic, I don't know, he's just not very good. He was playing well so far this game, but he probably could have saved that one, if I'm being honest. And the defence are not playing well today. We're actually not playing well at all across the board. And Hendricks, I'm going to take Hendricks off as well. Go Pavicic on. Cheeky little sub there. Yeah, Cano's not playing well. Romero's not playing well. Collins not playing. I mean, actually, the whole back line, pretty dreadful. I mean, Cano's sort of hovering between a 6-7 and a 6-8. I mean, nothing's really happening. It looks like it's going to finish a 1-1 draw. Well, we got a highlight. 93rd minute. Then Haji to Collins to Mbala. Goes back to Collins. Romero. See, I don't know about Romero. In theory, I feel like he looks good. Mbala beats his man though in the box. Can he cross? Perez! Is he onside? Don't do it to me like you did last season. And there we go. We actually get the winner in stoppage time. 94th minute, perhaps? Literally at the end of the game. Very unlucky there for Regensburg. If only that happened last season. That's literally what happened last season, except Gel's goal, he was slightly offside for. That's a good win, though. That's a good way to kick it off. And we actually get a win over Regensburg. Finally. I think the last time we beat them was in 3-Liga. Okay, it's not a terrible injury there for Dantas. About a month out, so 3 to 4 weeks. Korea scoring on his debut as well. Love that. Man of the match, supposedly. Love that. That's exactly what we need, is just a good goal scorer like Perea to partner Gel up top. Similar to last season with Rosma. So yeah. Anyways, what I'll do now, guys, is I'm going to skip forward the 7 days and I'll join you back for the lineup against Eintracht Braunschweig. Alright, so I just noticed that the face cam was down the bottom as well. So apologies about that. I moved it back up to the top for everyone. But let's get into the lineup. Also, actually, transfer activity first for the last 7 days. Familiar face. Pedro Mateus back into the team. Went back in on loan for him. And Benfica said yes. And we're only paying 675 of his wages per week as well. Very, very happy to get Mateus back in. It was very solid for us. Very solid as the ball-playing defender. Almost looking like Collins is a little bit of a waste of money now. So it is what it is. You know, Collins is on 6K a week. We paid 44,000 for him. And then Mateus is free. More or less free. And then on the other side of things, Augustin, we let him go to Paderborn. Bit of a league rival. Probably not ideal. But we got 500k out of him as well for him. We got him on a free, so that's pretty good money. And I mean, the more money we can get, the better we're going to look for next season as well. And then, yeah, Peinenberg went on loan to Roda. Actually a pretty good loan move, and it's regular starter playing time as well for him. So they've got good facilities, so I'm expecting him to do pretty well there, especially if he can get some good game time. All right, as far as this game goes, Hendricks played pretty terribly last game, 6.3, so Pavicic is going to come in. He's not match fit, but he's now fit enough to play. So I'm just going to throw him into the fire, essentially, and just see if he can do something for us. And yeah, Collins moves to the bench. Mateus is coming straight in, and him and Naranjo are going to rekindle their partnership. Romero might be the next one to go out. I've got Shiloh. I've got Barsland. Barsland was actually kicking up a stink about Mateus coming in the team, so we'll have to see see what happens with that one. As well, I guess. Anyway, let's get into the lineup. Senhaji in for Dantas as well. And we're taking on Eintracht Braunschweig, a team that actually beat us at the start of last season as well. So, again, hopefully more revenge. Very happy we won that first game. I was pretty much decided that we were going to at least draw that team once we got towards the end of the game there. But very happy with Perea. Very happy with Perea scoring. I think we look good. And now that we've got Mateus back in the defense, I feel so much more comfortable already. And he hasn't even played yet. Well, he's playing now. Yeah, just more comfortable. I mean, we still got Nikolic in goals, which is a bit of a concern. Oh, it's a penalty. Oh, why do we do these things? Why do we do them? Senhaji. Got to put his foot in. And we're 10 minutes in, and it's going to be a penalty. That's really frustrating. Once again, we're sort of setting ourselves behind the 8 ball. And, essentially having everything to do to try and make a comeback and get into the game. Frustrating. Also worth mentioning, Hertha Berlin did get relegated last season from Bundesliga. They've dropped back down, and we will be versing them this season. Kind of cool. We're coming forward here, though, Mbala. Nice little cross in. Is that a penalty for us? It is going to be a penalty. Perea brought down in the box. Who's going to take it? I think Dantas would normally take it. It's going to be Perea. Can he slot it away? Yes, he can. Bottom right-hand corner. Lovely work. And he's 2 for 2 so far. I know it's a penalty, but positive signs. He's doing exactly what I wanted him to do when I outlaid 195k for him. All right, Camara with a corner. Oh, the keeper missed that one. That was... Yeah, keeper's looking a little bit nervous. Pavicic. Get in there, son. I love Pavicic. I love both my wingers, to be honest. Both Mbala, Pavicic, even Hendricks. I know me and Hendricks had a little bit of a falling out last season. But he signed a new contract, despite being unhappy with me. So, he's back in my good books. And we're 2-1 up. Very even game, though. We are dominating the possession. But, yeah. Which is good because, we've still got the lead as well. Not going to praise anyone too much. Gel's been a little bit underwhelming in these first 2 games. Little bit underwhelming. Not great. Might even take him off. Let's take him off. I want to give Jabali a bit of game time. I'll swap him and Perea around. Have Perea play a bit deeper. And then I'll leave Camara out there for another maybe 10 minutes. He's on a 6. Well, he was on a 6.5. Which is not really what I want my box-to-box playing as. Or rating-wise. He's coming back a little bit. Yeah, we'll get Traore out there. They're both very similar players, but then again, very different players, if that makes sense. Both sort of younger African players. One's more sort of defensively minded. One's definitely more attacking minded with, better passing. And of course, Traore was a player. I think I originally sort of signed him to play as the left wing, inverted winger. We were so short, and he was the only option I could sort of afford in 3-leaguer. Anyway, we're coming forward again. And Mbala coming down the right-hand side. Oh, that's a dangerous cross. And Traore, of all players, off the bench, putting it in the back of the net, and that's his first goal for the club as well. And we're 3-1 up. Pretty much the end of the game. And you've got to say, we're looking good already. And it's a weird feeling. Because last season, we lost the first 2 games. Very sort of bad start, disappointing start. And we went on to almost get that promotion playoff spot. Could we do it this season? I don't know. I think we've got a good team. And we've definitely got good strikers now as well that are ours. It's a bit of a silly foul there from Traore. They put it in the back of the net. A little bit frustrating. Go a cheeky encourage for the last couple of minutes. Didn't really want to concede another goal there. It's a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Lots of stoppage time. We're in the 99th minute, pretty much. But we do get the win. 3-2 victory. I think we... Let me have a look. I want to go back to last season. I think we lost 3-2 to Braunschweig at the start of last season. So it's literally the sort of reverse scoreline. Let me go back. It wasn't either of those teams. It was Wiesbaden and St. Pauli. But it was a 3-2 loss. Anyway, disregard what I said. Disregard. But yeah, Jabali making his debut as well with a win. I'm looking at some other players maybe to bring on loan. Vorbeck. He looks okay. I'd probably play him as maybe a box-to-box. He's very much sort of a box-to-box midfielder. Get him on the shortlist there as well. Sunset Bell, clubs are making offers for him as well. A little bit frustrating considering, I mean, they more or less sign him for the same price that they're trying to sell him for. So, yeah, it's a weird one. Definitely a weird one. But yeah, 2 wins from 2. No clean sheets. We've conceded 3 goals. However, we've scored 5. So, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Scored 5, conceded 3. And we currently sit in 3rd place with every other team playing. Also worth mentioning for our next game that I'll play off camera, we actually got a Regional Liga side for the DFB Pokal first round. So pretty much an automatic, second round game, which I like. We did get to the second round last season, and then we got absolutely destroyed by Bayern Munich. Actually, I think we played pretty well. Anyway, off topic, rambling on. Thank you very much for the episode, guys. Smash a like if you enjoyed it. And I'm appreciative of your support. Now, we're getting into episode, the 40s of these episodes. And you guys that stick around, I do greatly appreciate all the likes on the videos. All the new subscribers as well that are coming in and sort of checking the episodes out sort of whenever they get a chance as well. It means a lot. But yeah, apart from that, make sure you are subscribed. 65% of you are not. So new viewers, make sure you do hit that sub button. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.